live from Studio B in the Annenberg School here at USC. This is the Talk of Troy, where we talk a big game, but have even bigger opinions. I'm Kyle, that's Tate, this is Jonathan, and it's the Monday crew. A little bit different, it's just three of us, but it's going to be an exciting one. Guys, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling not sick like some of the rest of our crew here. I'm not going to throw any shade, but
wow,
I get it. There's a flu going around.
It's all good.
Early shade, man. We just started. You're already opinionated.
No, I'm not. I'm just setting the mood.
No, I'm not. No.
It's all good. Jonathan, how you feel?
I'm good, man. No, it's gonna be a lot of fun topics today. I'm excited.
We got to talk about a lot of them because there's a lot of interesting things that happened over the weekend. But first, we got to start off with the Masters. I mean, it was the thing to talk about since Thursday, and Rory McIlroy finds a way to get it done again for the second year in a row, for the first time since 2002, and the last person to do that was Tiger Woods. And honestly, I think this second one was easier than the first one. He fell short for a while, especially winning that first one. It was a sign of relief after he got that green jacket. And like he said, it's like once you win the first one, winning another one becomes easier. And I think this second one was much easier for him, especially getting out to the gate and coming out the gate very strong on Thursday. Friday, Saturday was kind of a little iffy, but found a way to pull it through. I mean, he only finished by one stroke ahead of Scheffler, but it was a close one.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think in his press conference after the Masters getting the green jacket, he was talking about how he was really surprised at kind of not how easy it was, but like going into the weekend, it's like, oh, I only had to hit par, like I don't even have to hit under par to win the Masters, and like obviously in the last hole he has a bad shot off the tee, but like that didn't matter. He still got the win, and like you're saying, yeah, it definitely seemed like he was in control for a lot longer in this one. And I think for him, a confidence booster. Obviously, like had a hard time getting to win the Masters, then finally won it, and then wins it again, and like it was easier this time. So maybe you never know. 3-time Masters champion, first time ever.
He's on a streak right now, and I mean, next year you're gonna obviously have some top guys like Scheffler, DeChambeau. Yeah. It's gonna give him a run for his money. But so far in 2 years, I mean, he's already became a Masters champion twice.
Yeah.
And you think it was easier or no?
I think it was easier. Yeah.
Tate, what about you?
I would agree. I think he's entered like a kind of a flow state. I mean, like with how many people were vying for third. I mean, looking here, there were 4 people tied for third right behind Scotty and also McIlroy. I mean, even with, as you were talking about, a bit of a shaky Friday, Sunday. Yeah. It was really just not even close. I think from just watching it, it was kind of like one of those senses where it was like, it seems like a blowout in golf terms. Like he was just so far ahead of the rest of the pack, even though, Scheffler kind of started accelerating on him. It wasn't enough.
Yeah, there was one point on Saturday where it looked like he was like third or fourth in a couple strokes, and that was just because everyone was already ahead of him when it came to the holes. But he found a way to get the lowest score and come up clutch. But I will say on Sunday, I was watching the 16th, 17th, 18th hole, and it was looking kind of scary. Yeah. I was kind of getting worried for him because Scheffler had already finished and was already at -11, and I think he had a 2-stroke lead. And he overshot, I think it was hole 16. The ball went behind the green, and then I think he hit one on the 17th hole or maybe the 18th, and it went to the right, went into the woods. 18th, he hit it one more, went into the beach. He had to get the chip over onto the green to hit it in 4, and obviously to close it out, he needed a par or a bogey, and he'd be good, and he finished with a bogey. And honestly, it was a sign of relief. But to see this guy go back-to-back in 2 years, where before he won the first one last year, he's getting so much hate as he couldn't complete a Grand Slam. He takes the lead in the Masters and he chokes it. And he was doing that almost every other year, every time he tried to perform in the Masters, or he'd come up short or not even make the cut. And now it's like almost everything he's done is being washed away in a sense of how people were looking at him in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like how he couldn't get it done. And right now, this dude has already gotten 2 Masters jackets, along with all the other championships he's won, US Open, whatever,
and
whatever else.
Quickly, I'll just mention, like, this was a guy, Rory McIlroy, I should say, as he was entering this tournament this year, was not on a great streak. Like, he had finished 46 in the Players' Championship just a few weeks before, and then in the Arnold Palmer, I can't even speak, Invitational, he withdrew from that. So, like, if you look at it last year when he was coming to the Masters, he was top 10 finishes, top 5 finishes.
Yeah, he was hot.
Like, he was struggling. And I think that's why a lot of people kind of looked at it as like, do we know if he's actually going to win it back-to-back? And then,
Yeah, I mean,
strokes,
and he
six
does
strokes
it.
lead heading into the weekend. That was pretty impressive.
I mean, on Thursday, you just saw this dude was on fire and didn't plan on melting at all. And then you had a guy like DeChambeau, who a lot of people thought would be the favorite to win the whole thing. And I don't even know where he finished. He wasn't even in the top 5. So
Wow.
I wasn't really worried about him. I will say for the Masters, though, as a whole, that is one place where I would definitely want to experience, like, the event. I know,
Yeah?
like, the tickets are some of the most insane prices in the world, but it goes to the concessions. Those never change. The prices for the food never changes at
No.
all. But I also think, like, going to Augusta, like, that would be pretty interesting. Tate, what do you think?
I can actually speak on this. I went to a golf event with my dad once,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was at the LA Country Club. That was exciting. And as much like the Masters, it's really exciting when it comes down to the final holes and everyone's just waiting there. It was the PGA.
I know they got the PGA and the Genesis Invitational. That's in California.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. They were also promoting the Olympics, LA 28 as well there. And it just came down to the final holes, and you could just see everyone migrating, and it was
Yeah.
just like this. It's an environment. It's like you see that on TV where you can capture each individual moment of who you're following, a golfer. You're following the leader of the day. But when you're there in the moment, it's kind of something different because you kind of like see the first people, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
they're kind of shaky. This is like, an iffy off day. Like everyone has those, and then you see the leaders come in, and it's like, oh yeah. This is where it comes down.
It really is interesting to watch. But obviously, speaking about big events in California, there was a big event that happened over the weekend, and it's Coachella. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
biggest music festival of the year, I think, when it comes to a lot of headliners, but everyone's excited for it. At the beginning of the year, I mean, it starts the year off, and like we've seen, Justin Bieber was there, Young Thug, a lot of other great performers, but also you never really know who's going to be there. And honestly, I think it was pretty interesting. I saw some clips. I really enjoyed Young Thug's performance, but I know Justin Bieber was up there trolling, doing his thing.
Yeah.
But what'd you guys think of the lineup? What'd you guys think of the festival?
Tate, if you want to, yeah.
I mean, I did not have the opportunity to go, sadly.
Well, that's why you're here with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
That flu I was talking about over, it starts with a C, Coachella. But all jokes aside, it was great this year. I think there was a lot of good atmosphere in the sense that, like, Justin Bieber, everyone was talking about him. I mean, that, like, sure, he kind of got up there and so people were like, oh, he was kind of like, playing it very like, he wasn't really trying, right? He kind of just sat there on his laptop. He got the HDMI cord and was just like, yeah, we're going to look at the D's Nuts video now.
That's crazy. For somebody getting paid $10 million a year to go up there and or at least like watch memes. I mean, he's the only guy that could do it, but he also is the only guy that could get people to watch other videos of other people.
Well, I will say though, like
in front of a crowd and get paid for it.
Yeah, but I feel like there's also another thing like with Coachella and the festival that it is like, you go to want to see these artists, and sometimes to watch TikToks is one thing, but like you want to see that other side that you don't get like at a live concert, maybe when they're trying to just perform the songs. Like it just feels more intimate in a way that like he could go and do that, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm like hanging out with Justin Bieber rather like than like I'm paying to go watch him perform in this big stadium setting. And so I feel like a different vibe.
And Coachella, it's on the Polo Grounds in Palm Springs, and at least in Indio, and it's very huge. It's very big. There's so many different stages and a lot of people throughout the weekend. Pause. Oh, Jude back there on the soundboard. But it's very interesting. I've never been to the festival, but I have enjoyed watching the videos online. But obviously I feel like I would go to it if it was the right performance that I wanted to watch.
I'd agree.
Like, if it was like, if Young Thug was back up there again, I just didn't have a chance to go up there this year. But if Gunna was up there, Lil Wayne, even Snoop Dogg, I know he made a performance. He made an appearance up there. I would definitely go check it out. But also, I don't mess with all the people getting hot. You're in Palm Springs. It's sweaty. You're in a crowd. I'm not trying to swim through a crowd to get out of it. I'm not trying to get trapped. I'm not trying to do none of that. I don't know about you guys, but leave it to Beaver. I'm not doing that.
There is a certain like Coachella lifestyle, especially with like the people who got like those tents, and it's like, here's our $10,000 tent set up for Coachella. It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, get away from me. Get off
Yeah.
me. I'm getting too hot. You're in my bubble. People pushing people. It's starting to get aggressive in there. That's when we start having issues. That's when security needs to get called up. Oh, that's in Inglewood? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Did you go in 2023? Oh, that was prime. Woo! Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're in Palm Springs, like it's 100 degrees. Don't get me wrong. Great places, great houses, a great way to have a festival and a great place to have it at. But do you guys think Coachella should be in a different place? And if you do, where would it be?
I mean, the thing is, right, I was looking at around how like large the festival grounds are, and it's like 333 acres. That's hard to find in a lot of places where that's just like you have that land.
Yeah.
So obviously that's why middle of the desert makes sense for them. I mean, if there was a spot almost where you had that amount of land, like to go, let's say, I would want to go somewhere cooler, obviously, right? And you want to keep it close to, I feel like, California, that area. So maybe Northern California would be, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, I don't know if there's any
Like where?
spots. Well,
Like San Francisco? Or
yeah,
like Oakland?
kind of like San Francisco. If there was a spot, because like I said, I don't know
Like
if there is
where
full-
in San Francisco? I just don't know if there's a lot of
That's
ground.
what I'm saying. If there's not a lot of ground.
Where Coachella is right now, that's polo grounds. So that's like for horses to run, like play polo.
Yeah.
With. That's a lot of space. That's a lot of acres.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
a lot of square units that people got to cover. And right now they don't really cover all of it, but it's a great place to have it. I just don't know if San Francisco has
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Like,
I'm not
I don't
from
know.
there, but I don't know.
I don't know if there is that type of thing, but I'm saying, like, in general, if I were to pick a different place, assuming that you had that
What about you, Tate?
acreage
They
of land.
kind of got that like in Sacramento and some other neighboring cities, but that's like the valley, and that gets to like 110 degrees.
hotter than you think Coachella gets right now, though?
Oh no, sometimes it just gets like so hot. I mean, I got
Well,
family
right
up
now,
there.
look.
But like not right now.
No, it's very smart for Coachella to be in April.
Yeah.
Because in Palm Springs and Indio and out there in Coachella Valley, you don't want to go there in July. You really don't want to go there in August because you start hitting 110, 120, and that's where it becomes an issue. I've been through that. That's not fun.
That's when every artist is
And I'd
scrolling
rather
in
be
his-
hot than cold, to be honest. I'd rather be hot than cold. But why exactly what I said? I would rather be hot than cold. It takes you longer to heat up than to chill. So I'm like, I'd rather be hot than cold, but not for no festival to go watch somebody else perform. I can't do that.
I think if there were to do a different location and like plan it around scheduling, like what you said about like April, give me Miami in summer.
Whoa. Miami.
Oh,
Yes.
See, people love Miami. The Drake Warriors, the Party Next Door Warriors. They love being out there in Miami on a yacht, on a boat
yeah.
with the baddies,
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
They want to live the lifestyle with the money, everything. Want to go down there on I forgot what it's called, the strip that everyone goes to, and like booby trap. It's similar to like Magic City, but like everyone wants to go there. But like in LA, in Palm Springs, like it's cool. But for Coachella, I don't know if that's the right atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I will say, but Coachella, there's a mix of everyone. There's a mix of like people who listen to one type, like a certain type of music, and there's people that listen to like I don't know, like Gunna, Young Thug, and there's people that listen to Justin Bieber. They listen to who else, like Billie Eilish, like different atmosphere for different artists. But like Miami is like it could be a lifestyle, but if you get Pitbull out there at Coachella in Miami, oh, it's up. It's up. You're not sleeping.
No.
You're not sleeping. You're going to sleep at 8 a.m. and then waking up at 12 to go do it again. So I think it's an interesting topic. I think for Coachella, if it wasn't in California or in Palm Springs, I don't know where else it would be in the United States. Maybe like because like you can't really have it in the South because of the humidity. Like you can't really go to Florida. You can't go to Georgia. You can't have it in Louisiana. You can't have it in Texas because a lot of those places aren't really event cities. Like Miami's a good one. Definitely not in New York. New York's too
No, you couldn't
New
do
York's
New
too
York.
overpopulated.
Yeah,
No.
We're gonna throw everyone on the MetLife field to see who tears
Yeah,
the
that's-
LCL first.
Yeah, that's terrible. Too overpopulated. I would say I would have to agree with you, Jade. I think Miami's a good pick because you got water too, and a lot of people like to just live it up in the city there, so it's very similar to LA. Yeah, you get you get the beach vibes, and like for like where it's at right now for Coachella, it's like you have the desert, but there's a lot of pools, and it's very like living the lifestyle. Looking up in the sky and no clouds, like very breezy, Palm Springs, palm trees, everything. So very sensational. But
Oh, Tony!
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Oh boy.
a believer, I could tell
Me.
you. I think Tate. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one person that won't be is me. I can't get it. I can't get behind it. I will say some of the songs that he has with Ludacris, pretty good. But overall, nah.
Okay, actually, I actually have you heard "Beauty and a Beat"? That's a good
That's
song.
it. Listen.
That's a good song.
What's
You're
the other one that he
proven
had?
us
I saw it on TikTok. Something with never. Now
Yeah.
or never. Now and
listen,
never.
I
Yeah,
can't
something
name
like that.
a Justin Bieber song.
I know he had one that he was. Oh,
Sorry, baby.
baby.
I couldn't do it.
He was 16.
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't listen to.
That's what I was like.
Not.
or what
Listen.
about? What about?
I could give you the lyric, but I couldn't tell you the name of that song. I'm like, I couldn't even get you
What about
past
Yukon?
2 lines.
What about UConn?
I've never. Heard
Despacito.
Bro.
Despacito was a hit.
Really? Or it's like
boom.
it was like baby, baby, baby.
Yeah, I just-
yeah. I know that one. And the other one is the recent one. It's like you drive a Yukon. That one.
What DJ?
What is?
DJ Jude.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's-
say,
yeah,
I
guys,
was like, what? That's.
that-
I love this Justin
That
Bieber
was
song.
Disney.
I was
That
gonna
was
say, wait,
Disney
no.
Disney
I
was-
would have to
But
retract
hold
my
up, Jude.
statement.
Play,
That was
play,
it.
play like Baby or Yukon, so Jonathan gets some sense of like understanding what we're talking about.
Baby.
No, I mean, I've heard his music. I just couldn't name a song.
Baby is
It's like,
classic.
No,
Baby's-
no, that's what I'm saying. Like we'll jog your memory.
Oh whoa.
Oh crap!
Oh,
It's all good.
whoa,
But you get the point.
Yeah.
It's very similar. But he was like 16 when he did that. He also played that.
See, you know the
Oh,
dance moves.
oh.
You proved
Take
this.
some-
Right.
I'm
Take-
freestyling. This
take
is a
the
classic.
He's like in it. He's like,
getting
oh, wait
down.
a minute.
This is a classic.
Oh yeah, like I've
Oh wait,
heard
hold
this
up.
song.
I might be
but-
feeling it a little bit too.
Oh. You said you were the the least likely to be a believer.
Yeah, but you know, if a banger's a banger,
True.
There he goes.
Come on now.
and then when you get Ludacris on it, like I'm just like, it's great. But you know, it was interesting. Great headliners. Who's one performer? Hey.
Hey, listen. Now that we're
first
copyrighted,
love.
you're just gonna have way too much fun back there, dude. I already know.
No, nothing.
No, like I remember hearing this song, but I couldn't tell you like the lyrics as they're gonna come. I could not sing along. No.
Yeah, and then Yukon. That's like the most recent one.
I see.
Every time you said Yukon, I didn't know that was it.
Yeah, it's like I need a ninja driver Yukon.
Yeah, I was immediately thinking the Yukon Huskies and Tanner.
Oh, wow.
I'll be so real with you. That
Wow,
one.
You know, there's people that spell it like Yukon. Jude knows. There's people that spell Yukon.
Oh, Yukon like
Huskies,
Yukon.
like Yukon
That's-
GMC.
Oh,
But we obviously talked about a lot of performers, a lot of artists. But who's one performer that should headline Coachella that hasn't already? If you guys can think of one.
well.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. I was doing research because, frankly, obviously, if I can't name a Justin Bieber song, there's not going to be anyone in this this decade that I really listen to that would be headlining. Obviously, like the guys who I would want are out of their prime, so I'm not going to list them. But
wait, I want to hear that. I want to hear that list.
You think so? Obviously, if you could get them in their prime, like Billy Joel would be phenomenal.
Wow.
Let's be real. He has a lot of really good songs. That I think.
Which I have never listened to.
See,
Billy
exactly.
Joel song, so
See,
well, like
you
which
bet.
one?
Well, okay, so it depends. All right, but hold on. Yes.
I mean, like
but
I'd have to hear a song,
he's
but
a classic. He's
I didn't even
Piano Man. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Vienna. No, Vienna. Vienna is shocking because that became an audio, like on
Is he,
TikTok.
what
right?
is he like rock and roll? Like
Yeah.
Like what's his genre?
I mean, you can say rock and roll. I mean, that's
It's kind of like folk rock.
folk rock. Yeah, that's probably a better
All right,
categorization.
okay. Who else
But-
you got, Jonathan?
Well, like, okay, if we were to go away from like the people like I listen to, and you go to more like, I feel like one that me and Tate were kind of talking about before, so I can't claim full credit for this name, but Bruno Mars, I believe, has never headlined Coachella.
That's a good one.
And frankly, he just had a new album release, and
He can
everyone's
now.
been listening to that.
He's debt free. That's what he said. He's debt free.
He's different.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I mean,
know,
he did the Super Bowl with Beyonce. He's a very good performer.
No, he would be, I think, really
24
good.
karat.
Yeah.
In the air.
You can sing it. We're copyrighted already. You're good. You
Or
can
is that
sing.
one? I wake up. It's like I wake up in the sky. I know I'm super. Fly.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Gucci Mane and
Yeah.
yeah. That was a good song.
You know. I mean,
What about you, Tate? Who you got?
I got a couple as well. I mean, I got some oldies. I think Talking Heads would be smashing.
ooh,
that would be a
okay.
good one.
Never heard them.
You got to tap
That's
in.
okay.
So good.
That's okay.
That's
You
so
know-
good. Burning Down the House.
How about Bruce Springsteen? Can we get a Bruce Springsteen?
Wow.
Bruce Springsteen? Come on, like he would be good.
I
He
think
would be
I've
good.
heard. The only reason why I've heard a couple of Bruce Springsteen songs is because I watched a
Yeah.
lot of Adam Sandler movies. That's really the only
Fair.
reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Good on him for educating. You know?
Another one I personally would enjoy is Steely Dan. I think Steely Dan would be cool. But
I've heard of him
I
before.
don't know. No, I don't really think a lot of people. Are
Steely Dan.
Dude, you're not a fan, Jude?
Thank you.
What a pull.
But like modern era, I looked it up. I don't think either Cardi or Uzi have headlines. Collab. Boom.
Wow.
A collab.
1629.
Oh, they will in Chicago this summer.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, they will in Chicago on July 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi Vert, G Herbo, Chief Keef, Waka Flocka, Sexy Red, a whole lot of like it's.
Okay,
I
wow.
did see
Off the
lineup.
dome, he listed that.
Yeah, cause I literally just saw it earlier. You know, but that should be interesting. But for me, I think one that sticks out to me. I mean, he's one of my favorite rappers. I think it's Gunna. I think the run that Gunna's had not only this year, but within the last 12 months, you had Young Thug, but I think like for him, his music is very universal, and obviously a lot of people use it to hype themselves up. You know, they really get the flows going, get the blood flowing, juices pumping.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he could turn that place inside out, and I think a lot of people. Whoa.
That's 3.
Yeah.
That's 3. Strike out.
Anyways, I think if Gunna had a little bit more songs and probably had a little more of a fan base, he could really headline at Coachella. But I really would just want to see his appearance. He got Young Thug, but I don't know. Young Thug also, silenced his name out on the song on Ski. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was like Gunna something, but he definitely just muted his name. So that was pretty interesting to watch. But I think some of the guys we said, obviously, I didn't really know half of them, but I feel like it'd be interesting. I feel like it definitely fits the atmosphere of Coachella, that vibe, kind of like that hipster vibe, but then also bring like the hip hop to it. So
Hold on, Jude, you got one?
yeah, Jude, who you got?
I'm curious because you knew who we were talking about. You knew who you was talking about. You feel like the most musically off the dome.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Metro Boomin want some more. Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
like the
Huh?
ultimate collab of like a
Get Future up there.
performance.
Metro.
You get Future, you
Yeah.
get Kendrick,
Yeah.
you can get literally anybody.
What a
Yeah.
what a pull right there.
There you
That
go.
would be an exciting event. Man, Jude, that was a play. That was he drew that one up back there. But speaking of plays, we're going into the NBA playoffs. And obviously, guys, we got to talk about it. The seeding came out. The predictions are there. The play-in is about to get started. So, as we take a look at it, what's your predictions? A quick overview of who we think is going to, take it all or how far a certain team is going to get. But first, let's look at the play-in and give me your thoughts.
Tay, you wanna start us off here? Or you?
Yeah, with the play-in predictions,
Mm-hmm.
which are happening tomorrow, we got Blazers versus Suns, Clippers versus Warriors, Magic versus 76ers, and Hornets versus Heat.
Yes.
I'm thinking that the Blazers are going to beat the Suns.
Interesting.
Okay.
I mean, you could say all you want about Devin Booker.
Whoa.
Devin Booker's pretty nice.
Whoa.
But
Devin
like,
Booker.
exactly. I
know.
mean, without that guy, they are losing to old Captain Lamerica by 30.
Oh.
Like, it is brutal
Lamerica,
out there.
30?
By 30.
Wow.
I fully believe that the Blazers will be able to take this one with ease. Clippers versus Warriors is just it's I hate to say it, but it's like an old fashioned like poop off. Like
Whoa.
it's like the Clippers are good. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah,
but,
that's the
like,
least exciting game I'm looking forward to.
Yo, hey guys, we're gonna get Quentin Post starting in a play.
Yeah,
game.
like, come on.
do not care.
Clippers, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. You always get to the podium, but can never be in the top spot.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That game
But
just puts me to sleep.
Who? I mean, between those two though, who's?
Oh, the Clippers.
The Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in Kawhi.
Listen, I like the Clippers.
Last year they did pretty good.
I think they're the
against
better
Nuggets.
overall team, but I mean, come on, Steph, come on, USA, France, Steph, only guy you needed. Bang, bang, bang. If Steph wants to win this game, he'll win this game.
Yeah.
So
He'll win the game. He won't win the series.
no, I mean,
He ain't winning the series.
I think he
It's a
get.
play-in, though.
I think
It's a
they
play-in,
get through
though.
the Clippers.
No, but I'm saying if they get, I'm sorry, not in the play-on.
Yeah.
If they get into the
playoffs.
The playoffs.
Oh, stop! No,
Yeah,
ain't
no,
nobody. Hey, listen, ain't nobody beating the Thunder from the play-in. Let's just make that clear. And no one is certainly not beating the Spurs. If Wemby is Wemby's coming back, right? I think the bruise on the ribs. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
With him back, ain't nobody touching. No one from the play-ins on the West is going anywhere. I'm gonna say that right now. So, but like just for all intents and purposes, I think Warriors. All right, Warriors play the Suns. I think the Warriors beat the Suns. Honestly, I don't know. I know they don't have a big team. Pods is gonna have to do a whole lot, and Coach Draymond is gonna have to coach him to a masterclass.
This Coach
as Tony would
Draymond
say.
bit has not worked out for them. I'm just
Listen,
letting you know.
Coach Draymond. I want to see it. I want to see Draymond coach him.
We do not care.
I got. Listen.
Thank you.
I don't know about
Tony's
that.
flowers. But on the East side of the play-in, I think the most fun teams out of all on the play-in side, the Hornets. You gotta see Khan and LaMelo. I think Khan beat LaMelo by 1 in the 3-point race between the two of them. That's just been fun to watch. I don't think 80+ point Bam Adebayo is gonna touch the Hornets. I think Hornets beat the Heat. Sixers Magic. I personally don't care about that game, but
Yeah,
Magic's the better team.
We'll see what Paul George is going to do. He's a baller, and he might do
yeah.
some damage in the play-in.
I can't trust Paulo Banchero,
You can't trust-
PB No J. Like that guy, he's too inconsistent. Sure, he's been turning up recently.
Desmond
but
Bain.
Desmond Bain. Nice. Franz Wagner, I have no idea what's going on with his injuries. But
I'm a little upset with those.
All right, let's take a look at this. I'm running with the Clippers over the Warriors. I'm taking the Suns over the Blazers.
Oh.
I'm taking the Suns over the
Oh
Blazers.
no.
Yeah,
We do not care.
I'm taking the Suns there, and then I'm taking the Hornets over the Heat.
Yeah.
I'm
You
taking
have to.
I'm taking the 76ers over the Magic.
yes.
And then as we get, aside from the play-in, now if we take a look at the other teams that are kind of already secured in the playoffs real quick.
Yeah.
Lakers Rockets.
That's
I really want to put my bias aside for a second because the Lakers don't have Luka or Austin Reeves. At least, Reeves is not going to be back until the first week of May. But against this Rockets team, obviously it's a young team with a veteran presence like Kevin Durant. But, like you mentioned, L'America. We might see 2012 LeBron James at 41 years old. And honestly, like he said, they need everything. And right now, LeBron, we need everything. I'm speaking to you because, look, if you could get us out of the first series, that's a win for this season. With no Luka and no Austin Reeves, let us see the future a little bit with some potential, to see how far we could have got. Because I already know if we even get past the Rockets, we're getting smacked in the second round. But now what? You got to optimistic, Jude. I think we push it. I think we push it. Because here's the thing. It's not that I don't believe in the rest of the players because everyone on that team is capable of getting 20. And
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes they choose really not to. And it's just not working for them.
I've never seen Maxi Kleber touch 10.
And
so-
but besides him, I mean really,
Bronny James.
hey, last game
USC love.
last game against the Jazz,
listen.
Bronny was cooking.
Lakers are
I
gonna
mean,
need
come
everything.
on.
They're gonna
Look,
need Bronny to show up. Bro.
He's gonna be like, look. Look, it's all good, but look, this is where LeBron's like, yo, son, I'm gonna need you. And then he's
Yeah.
like, all right. He's like, and then you just hear the words of Darvin Ham, go hard on them dudes. Salute. And then that's where that's where you just get the momentum and it shifts. JJ Redick ripping them forward in the locker room. You guys can't play.
That's 5, dude.
Man, I'm
You're
on,
batting terribly.
I'm on one right now. But guess what? JJ Redick's gonna talk to him, get the motion flowing. Rockets, look, great team. Amin Thompson holds. They're all good. I think they're the tallest starting 5 in the NBA on average. But you got to come out with defense. You got to come out with pressure. And LeBron, find a way to use him with his age efficiently through 4 quarters. Because obviously he can't run down the floor for 40 minutes. He just can't do that. Or 60 minutes. He can't do it. So you got to find a way to space it out. But also you need everyone else to come up clutch, and that's going to be an issue. But going to the Nuggets-Timberwolves, this is interesting because I want to take the Nuggets, but also Anthony Edwards has yet to let me down in the playoffs. And over the last 2 years, he's cooked some of the top players in the playoffs. But that's if he's efficient and healthy.
If he's healthy.
And the whole team can use him. But I think for the East, as we go over to the East, what we got?
We got
Pistons. Interesting. we'll see what they do. Obviously, I know
Pistons, I don't know.
that'll determine on the play-in. But
I want to see Hornets Pistons, by the way.
see. I don't know.
Western,
I think. Well, my favorite earlier was the Thunder and the Spurs.
Well, that's the thing. If the Spurs match up against the Thunder, the Spurs win 100%.
No, I'm saying Thunder or the Spurs.
You're taking Thunder over the Spurs? No.
No, I said Thunder or the
Oh,
Spurs.
Thunder or okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that. I mean, obviously, if you had to pick another one, I think if Ant is healthy, the Timberwolves are the next scariest team in the West. Between those three, you can shake your head. I don't care. There's no. Okay, who? Who, Tate? Who?
I think the Nuggets.
I think the Nuggets.
Yeah.
No.
I said the Nuggets over the Timberwolves. So.
Yeah, I know you said that, but listen.
Oh, this whole like.
If Ant is healthy, and you come on, you have Julius
Well,
Randle. That's right, I
but the
said
Wolves,
it.
Oh
Julius Randle.
my goodness, the
Dante
Knicks bias here.
DiVincenzo.
That's two.
Reddit's
They need more than Anthony Edwards. They've always needed that. I mean, like they did it last year. They beat the Lakers in 5, and then they got all the way to the Western Conference Finals. And who they lose to? The Thunder.
Yeah.
Last year, and then it's like you look at Anthony Edwards. I mean, he's cooked Steph Curry, he's cooked Luka, he's cooked LeBron, he's cooked Jokic. I'm just saying to get to the Western Conference Finals. I don't think this year is the strongest year that they've been, but it's gonna be tough to get through the Spurs or the Thunder. And for the Eastern, I mean, I hate to say this, but Celtics play the best basketball.
Huh?
They do.
No.
They do.
And
And the Knicks, honestly, the Knicks fired their coach last year, right?
Yep.
So, based on their standards, if they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, you have to fire Mike Brown.
yeah. No, that
You have to fire him.
But
Or no, not even. No, sorry.
you saying
If you don't go to the finals, you have to fire him.
Yeah. No. And I you know.
So
I'll
you
tell
might
what,
want
they
to
probably
write that 30 days of resignation
Yeah,
later
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
You-
Because it's not gonna happen.
Nobody in the East is beating the Knicks. I don't want to hear that. That's ridiculous.
Well, that should be how it is, right? Like this
Should
is
be,
your,
definitely.
This is your conference to lose.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna kill the Celtics. I don't care. We did it last year. If the Celtics, by the way, even make it
There's a
to
lot
play
of
the Knicks.
there's a lot of if here, but I don't know if you're concerned with the first matchup you have,
the Hawks. No.
which is against the Hawks. I
Listen,
don't know. The Wheel had other plans.
The Wheel had other plans. That's right. The Wheel did select the Hawks to play the Knicks. But I'll tell you one thing. I wanted to see the Raptors personally because we would have won against the Raptors in 4 games. It would have been nice. The rest.
Yeah.
But me and Jude were talking about it. Sometimes rest isn't the best thing. Sometimes you want to keep your guys heated, hot, ready to go. The Hawks. The Hawks. That's
Talking
one for me.
spicy.
The Hawks Knicks
Oh yeah.
game, that series is going to be a very, very, there's just going to be a lot
Trae
of
Young
pressure. Trae Young's not there.
Trae
there.
Young will be meaningless because New York will only hear one name echoed throughout the streets, like the boogeyman, like
Who?
the Batman.
Who?
Jalen Johnson.
Stop it.
Mr. Triple Double himself.
Stop it.
I mean,
Jalen.
hey, look, I have the Knicks beating the Hawks realistically, but look,
Obviously.
I don't have them going to the finals.
Who's beating them, Kyle?
The Celtics can.
The Celtics won't even make
No,
it.
that's the thing in the East. Everyone can beat everyone. The Hornets can make it.
Yeah, I mean that's the Eastern Conference is nowhere near harder than the Western Conference. They need to throw some teams from the Western Conference in the Eastern, to be honest, and get rid of some of the teams in the Eastern because they ain't made the playoffs in 25 years. So I think for the Celtics they get there, but here's the thing with the Celtics: they're not winning. They're not winning the championship.
I would agree.
They're not.
The only team from the East that can win a championship is the Knicks. I'm sorry. Sorry. Nobody else could do it, in my opinion. I don't, especially because the Knicks own the Spurs.
So you think the Knicks?
I've already
Yeah,
done the
let's
bet.
put
Hold
money
on,
on it.
wait,
You
hold on,
think, so
Jude.
you think the Knicks can? You think the Knicks can beat the Thunder or
Jude,
the Spurs?
I already have an ongoing bet with Ashton and Nikki. We did this last time, earlier this semester, on the Knicks making the conference finals. So you're gonna have me double down on more bets? Yeah, the bet was if the Knicks made it to the Eastern, made it. They didn't have to win, by the way. So
Oh wow, selling
made
yourself
it to
short,
the Eastern Conference. No, I said win it. They said make it
Okay.
because apparently they felt bad. I would if they make it, then they have to root for the Knicks. They have to all dress up in Knicks garb and everything, and then the vice versa. I have to dress up basically as the Infinity Gauntlet of Knicks enemies if they lose for the podcast, which would be like wearing a Trae Young jersey,
Wow.
wearing a Celtics hat, probably Sixers or Magic shorts. I would imagine would be
What about a Reggie Miller jersey
that could listen.
or even Michael Jordan?
Whatever they're willing to supply me with, we'll see. But I'm not worried about that bet. at all. They're gonna make it easily. They're gonna waltz right in.
I don't know. Jude thought the Cowboys would win the Super Bowl, and,
Okay,
and
well-
he had to shave his head. And Frank thought the Patriots would win the Super Bowl, and he had to dye his hair blonde.
Well, yeah.
So far in bets on TOT,
I don't know why
it's
we're-
over 2. And so I don't know if you might be. I don't know, Jonathan. You might be the difference maker.
Maybe 1
but-
for 3.
but-
Third time's the charm.
right
is
now,
what
the
you're
Third
thinking
time's
of.
the
The bets are against you. So
That's
if,
true.
if the Knicks surprise you and lose to, I don't know, whatever team, they might lose to the Celtics, whatever it is, or even the Cavs. I don't even know who they play after that. But
If they beat the Celtics, when they beat the Celtics, more rather, if the Celtics make it, they would play whoever comes out of probably the Pistons or the Cavs.
don't let Cade get comfortable. Don't let Cade be healthy.
The Cavs.
That's what they said
don't-
last year, though. What happened?
But Pistons, I mean, they play some good basketball, and they're young. It's hard to run with them young dudes. It's tough. But I mean,
Okay.
that was
Tate,
that
come
was,
on, bro.
forcing it. That was pushing it. That wasn't even
know what?
questionable.
You know what? I'm glad you could have something to look forward to. I don't know. Like, Kyle is being very, very hopeful. All I can do is accept the Laker team as it is. We're gonna have.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're gonna reach the finals. I'm accepting them for who they are, but also, there's been interesting things that have happened. I'm just saying the Lakers almost made it to. I will say the year where the Nuggets cooked them. I can't remember what 2022, 2023.
Which one? Because there was like a couple.
No. It was the year where they beat the Grizzlies. Oh, 2023. They beat the Grizzlies in the first round, and they went like to the final game, or I think it was like 7 games against the Nuggets. And then if we would have beat the Nuggets, we would have won the championship.
That is true.
It was 2023 because the Nuggets won the championship.
That was
If-
free.
If we would have beat the Nuggets, we would have played the Heat again, and we
Yeah.
would have won the championship.
Yeah, but Jokic is just Jokic.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We got Rui Hachimura first option ball in the playoffs. I want you all
along
to
with
just bear
LeBron.
witness.
That's easy 25. Don't let Jackson Hayes get hot. Put my boy inside the paint, grab them boards. We're talking about almost a dunk champion. 24-hour fitness, one of the
There's
best
no
dunks.
way.
Can we be
One
for
of the-
real?
You
One of
can't.
the best
No
dunks I've
way.
seen in a while at a 24-hour fitness court.
Almost a dunk.
Almost.
That's how we're gonna brand him. You
I
went
mean-
almost.
I
a
mean,
dunk?
like, it was a garbage dunk, but I mean, for 24-hour fitness, that was good. Somebody who's about 7 feet, good height, was able to get up there on the rim. Look how good,
I don't know
good
if we're making
elevation.
the Lakers fans more hype with that comment. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying.
This is the level we're at until off-season.
Come on, guys, get hype about Bronny James.
signing that. Yeah, I'm gonna get hyped on Bronny James on
his
the
first
South
playoff
Bay Lakers.
run.
No, but it's look, it's all good because I'm not really worried about this year. We're already in a rebuild year for the Lakers because now we have the same ownership as the Dodgers.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
scary.
everything, history always repeats itself.
Oh.
And the Lakers will be back again, and they will go back to back in future years.
You
to
think?
come.
Wait, how soon though? How soon the back to back? Because I was going to ask you.
Within
do you
10
think
years.
they're gonna within 10 years?
Yeah.
You don't think any short? It's 10 years. Within 10 years,
Yeah.
too bad.
Because
Okay.
that's what I said about the Dodgers. I said the Dodgers.
2 in a row?
I said the Dodgers would win at least 3 championships in 10 years in 2018
Okay.
when they lost the second one.
What did he see?
Hmm?
What did he see?
I don't know.
The visions.
Now he sees
I know what
another
I saw.
vision.
3 World Series in what are we in? 2026. So in roughly 8 years. So,
Okay, that gives me hope.
See, so
Heck, you should.
10 years from
Yes.
now, 2026 to 20. I actually said this last year when they got Luka. 2025 to 2035, the Lakers will go back to back.
Okay. All right. I think Los Angeles would be better for. Do you think we'll be able to see a Lakers and Dodgers championship the same year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's
100%.
possible.
Wow.
Yep. It just sucks that it didn't happen this year or last year, but yes, it will be possible.
Okay.
It will happen because if it happened once already in 2020, it's gonna happen again.
It was not going to happen last year because when you have Jackson Hayes up against Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert, that's exactly the result you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate. But, this is going to be an interesting playoffs. It's going to be one to watch. But obviously, we got to go over to another sport, kind of talk about college football as we are in college. And now college basketball just wrapped up. And now spring ball has wrapped up for college football. And they'll be looking forward to the season in the fall. But, Trump had an executive order on NIL and transferring in college. And when it comes to athletes, in particular, I think the biggest one to look at here is college football and how many players transfer. Also relates to basketball as well. But what are your guys' thoughts on that after hearing that?
I think it's fascinating. I mean, NIL has always been just a very hot, contentious topic.
Yeah.
You look at players like Carson Beck And then you look at like the recent matchup between Miami and Indiana. It's like, oh well, some of the Indiana players have been playing since Trevor Lawrence has been in the league. And then you look at Carson Beckett. It's like, yeah, okay, your point. Like that was just kind of how the game was played. Now that and some of the details for some of you who don't know was that the Trump administration said that they were trying to restrict that only 5 years of eligibility, only one transfer, and a bunch of other like hampering down on like fraudulent NIL claims for like attracting players and stuff like that. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But the question is, does it harm NIL and transfers? Because it grants it a lot of freedom to the players.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I mean, obviously, restrictions on NIL, that's been coming. It's just been such a crazy landscape. The one transfer rule, though, I don't hate it because it's probably going to force these players to get a degree maybe if you're only transferring one time. Because a lot of times, right, if you're transferring every single year, you're not going to get a degree. You just can't. It's just not going to happen. And so, it's like, okay, you can only transfer one time. Also, it makes these transfers more meaningful, right? You're not just transferring for like, a bigger bag and not thinking about anything else, and that might lead to more retention in players. Because that's the one thing NIL kind of hurt is like, you don't have these teams, especially as a college coach, that you've just build because you think, oh yeah, I got this really great, recruit and we're going to build with them for the next 4 years. Not really. Not anymore. Now it's, all right, coach, we didn't make playoffs. Goodbye. I'm out. And I'm going to go to, whoever. If it's football, I'm going to go to Georgia. I'm going to go, So I think that rule, if that's actually instated, it'll help teams kind of build more, which I think is kind of an art that's been lost. But some of the other stuff I'm not entirely sure about when it comes to that executive order. I know, Kyle, you had a few opinions on that.
Yeah, I think when you look at least college football, we'll say like 10 to 15 years ago, and we've kind of seen both sides of this where players weren't getting paid and now they're getting paid. And I mean like literally a lot.
Paid.
Like, I mean, they're bringing in the money. I mean, it's really interesting to see because obviously, players have been really contributing to the overall success of a lot of these programs and at least these schools when it comes to benefiting off the athletes. And right now, the athletes are benefiting off the schools, and a lot of people are trying to see, is that really beneficial for them in the overall program? Because you get a lot of these athletes where they think they're bigger than the program.
Yeah.
And realistically, nobody's bigger than the program. And so you could be in here today and be gone tomorrow. Because and we've seen that obviously with Chad Baker-Mazar not being on the team for USC basketball.
Yep.
When you look at football, you have a team like Indiana where the average age on there is above 22, 23, and you go up against Miami and you go up against a freshman, Malachi Toney, who was 17 years old a couple months before the national championship, and you look at how much of a difference that is. 25 and 17. That's an 8-year gap, and you're playing against a dude like that on the football field for a national championship in college. So then it's like that also becomes interesting because then it's like, oh, how many times can you limit a transfer where you're transferring to? Personally, I think you get like 2 max. And if you get injured, you can still redshirt. Like, that should still be applicable, but also it should limit that. And the same thing with the money, because I think a lot of these players think they're bigger than what they actually are. And if you start taking away their money, like the NBA takes away players' money when they start doing stuff off the field or off the court, and they start finding them, because once you start playing with an athlete's money, that's when they want to get serious.
Yeah.
But until you do that, they feel that they can kind of do whatever and different things and get away with a lot, because we see it all the time in the media or in the news or different people doing different stuff to where it's like, all right, if I do this and I fine you $5,000, $10,000 for whatever you do, I guarantee you'll stop.
I agree with that. I think they're still working out some stuff with like the NCAA. Like, I think there was a statement out there was like, this is like a good, like, helpful plan that we can like try and mediate NIL and stuff. But I think with the eligibility, especially with like injuries and stuff, and also there was another rule in there where you were not letting pro players come back, like it was happening in like college basketball. But it's good to prevent something where it's not like, Bishop Sycamore again, where you got like grown adults versus like 17,
Bishop
18
Sycamore,
year olds.
what a pull.
It's like, it's
that game was on ESPN too.
Yeah, and it was IMG and they smoked them.
Yeah.
Granted, age is just like irrelevant in the sense of, age is irrelevant in the sense. Age is irrelevant.
I gotta say, Jude is
you can
tactical.
Let me finish.
He is tactical on the soundboard tonight. I mean, it's almost after everything we say with a breath. What do you mean by that? Wait a minute.
I had a moment where I'm
he
like,
implicated
he's
you,
gonna
bro.
get
You're
me
done.
here. But
He's clipping that. He's
In
already
this-
posted it. He's
No,
already on Talking Troy's social
no.
media.
Age isn't irrelevant. Well, isn't relevant. I
Don't
know-
you say it too. He's
I-
gonna get both of you
No,
clipped.
I don't know, Tate. That's crazy.
no, in college sports, you look at like Ryan Williams, you look at Malachi Tony. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are in the college sports landscape. You can still play better than those who are 25 plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it also shows that the overall developing of like the athlete, and obviously people develop and grow bigger than others. That's why the linemen aren't the same size as the quarterback, and the quarterback isn't the same size as the wide receiver or the running back. Different things like that. But at least when you look at like college basketball, it's like a lot of like the basketball players get paid a couple $1 million to go to their school, and obviously you see the one and done, and you rarely see guys who don't even go to college and just go straight to the NBA out of high school.
Yeah.
But like you're starting to see, it's like, okay, this wasn't a good fit for me, so I'm going to go somewhere else. And then it's like, all right, then you start to become 23, 24, 25, 26. And you don't really look different than the 18-year-old, and your skill set is still there. But you're trying to maximize every opportunity you got, honestly, in college, and you're trying to make the most money. But if you look at it for women's, you're trying to make the most money in college. Like Jude, you know that you're going to get more money now than you will in the WNBA, but you still just want to play basketball. But I think it's going to be interesting. Do you guys think like these changes are like helpful if it does change, where they start limiting this a little bit more? And do you think it's like detrimental to NCAA? Obviously, after like all these athletes kind of leave college and don't get a degree. I think if you're a football player and you stay 3 years, you should leave college with a degree before you go to the NFL because you make so much money.
Yeah. I mean, I think limiting the transfers is going to help, obviously, right? Because like you were saying, you're not going to just jump off of like a program because you're like, oh, this maybe wasn't a good fit for me. I feel like you're going to get more players are going to get more out of their experience, right? Because obviously having the same coach for 4 years, that develops you as a player, that develops your mindset. I think you get a lot more from that than going to 4 different coaches for 1 year and kind of going, you know what? He doesn't want to play me enough as I want to play, right? Like you're saying, I'm bigger than this. I should be playing more minutes. All right, goodbye. And you've just wasted a year where you could have been working on your game. You could have been getting more training. You could get more like fundamentals. And so I feel like you're losing that. So I think limiting the transfers, if it has to be 2, like you're saying, I don't hate the 1. Because obviously it does restrict movement a lot, but it makes that decision a whole lot more meaningful. Because now, like, the team that's getting you, like, okay, you're transferring from USC to wherever, I know I'm going to have you now for the rest of the, your time, your playing time.
I think the hard part is the unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I think,
true.
Like, which is why, like, I could give some grace for, like, you get, like, 2.
Yeah,
it's like when it starts to
know.
become excessive where, like, all right, you weren't even injured. Like, you don't really have a reason. Now you're just milking it. Like, now you've been here for 7 years. Like, all right, dog, you got to go. Start looking on Indeed, looking on LinkedIn. What can you do?
I do think these rules are helpful, though, because there is definitely an issue. Like, you look at, like, Michigan's basketball team where, like, every single one of them were transfers, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't seem fair. And then you also look at, across the pond at, like, UCLA and Nico. That was a disaster, and it was just all about that bag.
Yeah.
And then, that team sucked. Like, they were the worst. So, yeah, I think there are some regulations that need to be put in place, or at least some guidelines so people aren't flying off the rails with this. But it'll take time.
Yeah. Oh, I was at home and I didn't realize what I was watching. I was like, wait a minute. At first, it didn't really hit me. I'm like, dang, this is Kobe's last game in 2016. The Lakers were one of the worst teams in the league, and he's out there playing with guys like Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson, D'Angelo Russell, a whole lot of players who kind of did not live up to him at all. But I was like, this is going to be it. And you realize, like, post-basketball, it's like, wow. And it's like, this guy is no longer dribbling a basketball. I think I was in the 6th grade. And I just remember watching it on TV, and then you just realize, like, now it's like, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then you realize he's not here. And it's like, whoa. And a lot of people, like Kanye posted on Twitter that night, he's like, at the God's last game. And it's like, that's just like insane to me to think, like, not only was that like a memorable point in his career, but to drop 60 on your last game in your home arena in front of like the craziest celebrities in the world. Kendrick Lamar,
Yeah.
Jay-Z, Kanye West. Like, everyone had Snoop Dogg, regular seats to a game to watch you play, and you're just amongst like the crowd and everything else. Like it was definitely just an incredible experience, but also like eye-opening to see like that was really like 10 years ago. Also, time never waits for anyone, and you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. So
True that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say the same. I was not aware of what was happening. I
Yeah.
remember my dad talking about it, how crazy, how momentous it was, and I was just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like in the moment, but now looking back, it's like, man, I was a dumb kid.
Yeah, you just don't understand what you have until you don't have it anymore. You're like,
Exactly.
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Jonathan? Where were you? Or
I
did
mean,
you,
I
did
was
you not
also-
watch? Did you not
No,
watch? The
I
Lakers?
watched. I was at home. I watched. Of course I did.
You know,
I mean,
Knicks fans.
listen, dude, come on, you gotta respect the greats. You can't, And obviously, I was at home too, and I was like the same thing. You're like, you don't understand the gravity because we're, you're younger then. Yeah, versus if it was now, I feel like we'd have such
Yeah.
a bigger appreciation and be like, oh, like this is like the great. You're never gonna see this type of talent really again. Like you'll see streaks of him in different players.
Yeah.
You kind of see that his intensity, his shooting in some places, but it's like you just won't ever have that caliber, that personality, that commitment, that grit, everything that he was. You'll never have that again, and you don't really realize that that's gone until it's like he's done.
And until you don't have it anymore. Well, this has been it for us on the Monday show, but we'll see you guys on Wednesday with Jude on the soundboard back there. But it's been fun, and we'll catch you on Wednesday. Peace.
Later.